The mic's picking me up okay. It's a bit hit and miss, this thing, at the moment, so let's just get rid of that. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay, guys, in the chat. It'd be much appreciated. Can hear you. Excellent. That's what's very quiet. Very quiet, says Barry. I'm maxed out, Barry. That's as far as I can go, I'm afraid. So hopefully I'll talk loud enough and you can hear me, or turn your volume up a bit. Sound is low. Everyone's saying the same thing. Oh dear. Here we go. Cannot get it any higher than that. What is going on? Right. Let's stop that. Bear with me 2 minutes, guys, and I'll see if I can sort that out for you. No idea why it's doing that. We're at the max we can get to, so if it's still an issue, then might have to put some considerations. Better now, says Barry. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll get it closer to me. How's that? Let's get inside the mic, really in there. Right, anyway, you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully it's not too quiet. I will test it afterwards, but now's not the time to poke around with it, I'm sure. Nice to see so many of you in here. What this is my new regular show. It's not just a news show. It's not just I'm going to read the headlines off to you, blah blah blah. It's more, let's have a look at the headlines and let's see what we have to worry about, what we can dismiss as distractions and stuff like that, as Andy mentioned in the chat earlier on, and so on and so forth. What we can prepare for, what we can't, etc. Just generally a casual chat. Barry says 5x5 now, so we'll take that. We'll take that. In the chat, we've got loads of people. I can't read all your names. I will read out our members because, you know, they've gone to the effort for me, so I'll go to the effort for them. John C's in the house. Reese Omega. Zebra Pep. J Law. Full of Hopes in the house. Reese Omega. Did I say that? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Obviously, Barry's in the house. He's not a member at the moment, but he was before, so we'll read it anyway. Polonium's in the house. And Brown Coat Prepper UK is in the house. So thank you all for being here, and everybody else who has joined us for this one. So let's get into the first headline that we're going to look at. So while I'm in the news bit, the chat will appear on the screen for anybody that's watching on the big TV. You know, you don't want me in HD, so I thought I'd put the chat there below, and super chats and things like that will appear just below me as well. The names across the top and the subscriber count should be live according to like a cumulative over time. So there you go. Right. We had a weather warning. We put a video out not so long ago saying it was going to be -8 in places. Now they're saying -16. That's definitely pipes breaking, freezing water in pipes weather. So make sure if you're in an area that's getting down to them temperatures, you leave at least a tap on, slightly trickling, not much at all, just to keep the water flowing so it's not standing water in them pipes. Okay, so just be warned of that. This is saying this week's expected to see the coldest nights of the year, with temperatures potentially reaching -16 on Thursday night. An amber warning for snow is in place for the southwest of England until 9 p.m. this evening. So it's technically should have gone, the warning, but -16 on Thursday in places. It's rare. It happens around Cornwall and stuff like that, but there's the weather warning in place. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. In North Yorkshire, this is Skipton, they're still saying -9 today is the low, 1 degree. -9 is the low, and the high of 1, and the -11 on Thursday. So don't forget, -8 -8, -6 to -8, that temperature, your water could freeze in your pipes if it's like that for over 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours even. So make sure if you're in that areas with the low temperatures, Full of Hope, you're at -5, Reese, you're at -5. If it's sitting there for a while, I would consider just leaving a tap slightly running. It's a bit of a nightmare if you're on a water bill, but only has to be the tiniest trickle so the water in the pipes is moving just while it hits them temperatures. So yeah, wanted to touch on the weather. How's everyone handling the weather so far as well? Let me know of your stories, because I went and visited one of our members in his house and looked around his preps, and he showed me all around his stuff, which was really, really cool. Big into communication, so there's lots of stuff to look at. As I was leaving, it was a bit of windy roads, country roads, and I saw a car misjudged to the bottom of this corner with the ice in play. It just turned, span, flipped, and ended up on its roof. The car behind, to avoid the crash, turned and ended up in a tree. This happened right in front of me. Everyone was okay, thank God. No injuries, or no obvious injuries. Everyone was up and walking and waiting for police to come out and stuff like that. But just common sense in this weather, come on. Baron says it's -4 in Todmorden. That's down the road from me. That is not far from me at all. Whiskey Jack J says -8 here. Got a trickle on, nice and toasty with the wood burner. You've put the tap on. Good shout there, Whiskey Jack. Very heavy frost here too. Full of Hope. Ireland, I believe. Full of Hope. Is that right? Somewhere around there. Keeping myself at home, only leaving the house for work and essentials. Yeah. So, there's loads of videos on winter advice. I've got some on my channel. Other people have got some on their channel. Sigma's just released a booklet about it. All great advice on all of these things. So, check that out. I just wanted to give you the warning about the water because of the temperatures dropping down that low. So, with cold weather comes runny noses, right? So let's have a look at runny noses. Of course, we're talking about HMPV. I almost say MVP out of habit. I gotta stop myself. Which is the human metapneumonia virus, okay? We've seen it in the news. It's all over the place. And Andy got it spot on in the comments. He said, seems like another distraction. This is not a new thing. Look at this. First identified in 2001 by Dutch researchers. Yeah? It's basically a form, it's a cold. Alright? It's on a par with the norovirus and stuff like that. Cough, runny or stuffy nose, fever, sore throat, wheezing or shortness of breath. Why is this a big deal? Because obviously you've not got your heating allowance now, and it's -16. So it's another way to kill off a generation that is just getting treated so poorly. But there's a big outbreak in China of it, but I don't think I really do think this is a big distraction. Here's how the packaging it up in the Independent. A surge in cases of human metapneumonia virus in China has prompted some alarm and led to fears of a possible worldwide outbreak. It's when they use them buzzwords, right? That's what's trying to get us all like, oh no, COVID Mark 2, blah, blah, blah. Surge in cases also be reported in India, Malaysia, Kazakhstan. I've had a look around, couldn't find a map. I wasn't going to sit there and code one just for an episode. But there's no map for this or anything like that. But it is just a cold. The problems you're going to have, like here, like anything, like any common cold, any virus, any pneumonia, elderly, young children, people with low immune system lead to severe complications such as pneumonia. So it could lead to pneumonia. So all the fear around this, all the fear thumbnails and stuff like that, this is not as deadly as pneumonia. It can lead to pneumonia. So, HMPV. This is Newsweek. China's and other countries have began reporting the virus. Was it this one I highlighted? No, I didn't. This was just telling you where it was. So this is India, Malaysia, Kazakhstan, and in other countries. Symptoms include coughing, fever, stuffy or runny nose, shortness of breath, and may progress to bronchitis or pneumonia. It's pre-bronchitis. It's pre-pneumonia. Yeah? So, that's getting a 0 rating on my rating scale, which I want to do with little heads of Corporal Jones from Dad's Army. Don't panic. I want 10 of them. So then we can have a scale of how to panic. And this is a 0 to 1. All right? Take the normal precautions you'd take for flu, for colds, wash your hands, do all that. If they try to turn this into something that they want to lock us down, guess what? Exercising control. Are you going to listen? Let's have a look at the chat. See what you guys are saying about it. Been working outside 12-hour shifts around -2 most of the day out of Birmingham area, says Brown Coat Prepper. 0 degrees in Portsmouth at the moment. This is a weird one. HMPV. I have friends in China. They sent me pics of hospitals and they aren't bursting at all. Exactly. Whiskey Jack J knows the score. Just a bad cold. Distraction tactics. But distraction from what, Brown Coat Prepper UK? That's the question, right? Sandy says it looks awfully familiar to 2019 clips we were seeing. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Leonard Payne says, nothing to see here. Move along. I spotted C COVID in November 2019. There you go. Completely blown out of all proportion. Always the powers that be. All those fancy new names for colds and flus. Yes. All right. So top advice for prepping for this is, if you prep for general medical stuff and a cold and you have tissues and some paracetamol, blah, 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 and you know how to just monitor your own symptoms, you're fine. You're fine. This is a 1 Corporal Jones on my don't panic scale. Hawkins in the house. How you doing, Hawkins? Right. So, first news, weather, cold, we all know. Stay warm, run your taps. Second news, HMPV, lot of crap. It's just a cold. Next. Right, what's next? Oh, next is what my friend Scottish Prepper 73 reported on. Let's spin over to the newsroom. So this is NESO, the National Emergency System Operator. They issued a warning. Now, Scottish Prepper 73 reported on the warning they issued at 12:01 today. Half an hour later, they rescinded it. All right? They've done it again. There was another notice, if you see here. I thought that might be too small for your screen, depending on what you're looking on. But that says 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 8th of January. Margin below threshold set by capacity market rules. And the transmission demand and operating margin was 44.695. And the BME units expected 44.910. So 44,910, that is. I'm saying point when it's not really a point, it's a comma. So there you go. They've done that again. So December the 3rd was the last one. And then we've had 2 today. All right. Here's the energy dashboard at the moment. Look at that. Gotta love fossil fuels. Keeping us going, fossil fuels. These things they want to get rid of. we're up to 5.59 gigawatts of imports. Belgian, Norwegian, Dutch, French and Danish at the moment, keeping the lights on. Now the problem is, we're cold right now. You guys are like -5, -8. I've seen a few different ones on there. This is going to get colder tomorrow. This is going to put more demand on that energy grid. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. Go and check out Scottish Prepper 73. He's done a video on it. I'm sure he'll do a follow-up on that as well. But yeah, the reason he preps is this. The reason he's changed the way I prep a bit is this. All right? Grid down, whether it's short-term, medium-term, long-term, is something we should all be ready for. So this, I mean, because it doesn't happen that often, I mean, it's not drastically below, and it was lasted half an hour. Hopefully, this has shook the right people and gave them some warning, and, you know, they see some sense, right? And don't start trying to make everything green and shutting everything down, because we can't handle it. We cannot handle it at all. John C. Take vitamins. Zinc is good for warding off nasties. Yes, a good multivitamin will never go amiss. I take them and I prep them. Chicken soup, lemons and ginger, says Lady J. Gotta love that. I'll tell you one thing. While I'm doing keto, bone broth. Boil up the chicken bones and stuff like that. I will just drink a cup of bone broth. That's a superfood, and that'll get rid of flus and colds. No problem. Wipe your nose and wash your hands. There you go. Reese Omega, we don't like it up us. There we go. You got my Corporal Jones reference at least. Miss Worm in the house. How you doing? You're late for work. Docker wages. 15 minutes late. Absolutely shocking. Reese Omega says we're screwed without imports. Yeah, we'd just be having rolling blackouts. We should be energy independent, says now is the time. We could have been, but, you know, the powers that be, the environment, the green thinking, it's just, their brains and ideas are going faster than technology can keep up with. It's just stupid. Hawkins was quite late as well, Miss Worm, so you're both going to be docked. It's fine. Full of hope, my vits are from British supplements, no fillers, excellent. I'm defo getting solar generator this year. That's going to be my big purchase for this year. There you go. I mean, yeah, I took the plunge. I was all ready for living like 1860s with no power, and I do still think it's the best way to prep if you're prepping for long-term power outage. But for short-term, having them solar units and stuff like that, definitely going to be good. I mean, if it's only a day you're out for, if you can keep your freezer and your food all fresh, it's a bonus, right? That's what we prep for. So, 2 warnings in a day from Nesso. Keep a close eye on that one. And let me know if you've had any power cuts today. If you've or any brownouts or anything like that, let me know. Right. How's everyone doing? How many have we got in? 63 people in there. Don't forget to smash the like button, share, leave a comment after the video, all that lovely stuff. It's really appreciated. All the members, look at all them green names. So appreciate all the members. Absolutely amazing. Most of you I know are coming to the Scottish Prepper Meet, which is going to be cool. And obviously you're all talk to me on Discord as well. But thank you. Supporting the channel. Every little donation, every little membership makes a massive difference. Because they keep jacking up the software prices on everything. It's ridiculous. Right, more news. Stop waffling. Anyone know this guy? Mr. Musk. He's been making a bit of a splash recently. And he's very hung up on our politics recently. I'll pull up the actual tweet. America should liberate the people of Britain from their tyrannical government. At the stage this screenshot was taken, that was 1.9, well, nearly 2 million votes. 58% saying yes. Bear in mind, a lot of them votes will be people in America, you know, not necessarily the Brits. But, yeah, that's a hell of a statement to say about any country on a forum like that, especially when Elon Musk now is technically going to be part of that said government. So, what do you think about being the 51st state, people in the chat? Personally, I don't think I'd mind it. It's better than what we've currently got. Now, I'm not saying it's the best thing for this country, but if the choice is Starmageddon or 51st state, I'm leaning to... I'm a royalist at heart, and I'm leaning towards 51st state. So, yeah, but he's took a massive interest in British politics with all this stuff. Obviously, the fires are taking over at the moment, so we'll go into that shortly. But here you go, retweeting Lawrence Fox about Labour's scandal. We'll go into that as well shortly. And Trump is retweeting Musk as well. So this is not just like a random person. If this was any random person, a random millionaire doing this, we'll just think he's crazy and eccentric. But this guy's going to be part of the people that make the decisions. Elon Musk, 5 hours ago. Nobody trusts Starmer, and for good reason. Investors won't invest without trust. He has created a financial crisis for Britain. Speaks for itself. I could sit there reading this all day. But yeah, him and Trump as well, like I say, retweeting stuff. I do like his pinned post there. Is Trump was right about everything. He's just, you know, Trump wrote that Trump was right about everything. That's funny. So, 51st state. What I want you to do, 66 people in here, if you think it's a good idea, if you would say, yep, no problem, come and take over, we'll be the 51st state, put a 51 in the chat, 5-1. If not, just stick a thumbs down. Let me know what you think. 51st state. I mean, for me, solves the problem of wanting to get a green card, right? And for a lot of laws that we would have freedom of speech again. Or at all, never mind again, just we would have it. There we go. Keep seeing ads for that, go and check them out on payday. What's that for? Oh, the British supplements. Listen, don't advertise supplement companies when I own a supplement company. That is absolutely shocking behaviour. Miss Worm, we're going to get a pocket money doctor again. Yes, you are. Bring it on, says Andy Cavalier. Nope, says Lady J. Polonium, what? Like they did in Iraq? Oof. Oof. Neither USA or Starmer, J-Law. I mean, I agree, J-Law. Don't get me wrong, I agree. But 5 years of this, 4 years of this, whatever. It's just, we're going to be in bits. Canada and Greenland are in their sights first, says Full of Hope. Yes, we'll talk about that shortly as well. Who voted for Musk? Or do billionaires get a free pass now? Nobody voted. He's just been, you know, put into a position. Look at this. 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51. Lady J down. Miss Worm down. 51, 51, 51. Oof. I think the eyes have it. The eyes have it. So the consensus is it's better than the shit we've got now. But yeah. Interesting. It's just the balls to say something like that. I mean, if this was anyone else, there'd be international arrest warrants, criminal arrest warrants out for stuff like that, right? If somebody had said it about the state America, it's a weird one. It's a very weird one. Anyway, I mean, I know this isn't UK news, but obviously it's directly correlated to us, right? It's us that's under the cosh. We're going to get bought and sold. Starmer would sell us. I've no doubt Starmer would sell the entire UK for the right price. Right. Sticking with Trump, Donald Trump refuses to rule out military force over Panama Canal and Greenland as he warns NATO has to spend more. So, yeah. Someone mentioned this in the chat. We're not going to play the video at the moment. But this bit highlighted here. Trump has said that the US needs to control Greenland and the Panama Canal for economic security, and has described ownership and control of the territory as an absolute necessity. Greenland has long been on Trump's radar as a target for purchase. In 2019, he confirmed reports that he had been urging aides to find out how the US could buy the vast Arctic island, describing a sale as essentially a large real estate deal. As well as oil, gas, Greenland's supply of multi-in-demand raw materials for green technology has attracted interest from around the world, including China, which dominates global rare earth production and has threatened to restrict the exports of critical minerals. By acquiring Greenland, the US could keep China out. China. I know I'm saying it wrong. China. Yeah. And the Panama Canal, for those who don't know. So last month, Mr. Trump falsely accused Panama of allowing Chinese soldiers to control the vital shipping route which connects Atlantic to Pacific Oceans and overcharging American ships. He's also claimed Panama charges US vessels exorbitant prices and warned if they are not reduced after he takes office next month, he will demand that the United States be granted control of the canal in full, quickly, and without question. For anyone who didn't know, the US did control it. They didn't initially start making it, but Theodore Roosevelt took over that, and then they pretty much had control of it all the way up until the 70s, when control was passed off to Panama, sort of thing. So, claiming something back in his eyes. But again, till he's in power, you don't know what's bluster, right? But I mean, he's threatening multiple countries here at the moment. Why do we need to be rescued by anyone? I find that appalling, insulting, and arrogant. I don't know, Miss Worm. I tend to agree. We do need rescuing because we're not standing up for ourselves. Let's have a look. No more wars, Donald. It's costing the ordinary man a fortune. True, very true. I think it's funny that Americans need a permit for hiking, Miss Worm, says Outlawed UK. I mean, you're talking state by state when you're talking about silly things like that, right? So, it's a great country, the USA, of my heart. I'll always be British. I'd love for that leaders at the time pulling us down. But there were the right people at the top, we could really thrive. Yeah, this is the thing. But who's the right people at the top? The right people will never be at the top. Do you know why? Because the right people are the common working man. And they're the people that can see the problems. They're the people who know how to fix the problems. By the time you're in that upper echelon and you're running for in one of the parties that has its own agenda already, and then you're an MP getting all this high wages and expenses and stuff like that, you become part of the system, and they don't want to rock the boat too much because they all want to get paid at the end of the day. And that's what it's all about. The green. Trump wants Greenland because Russia will take Ukraine and its resources, while China will take Africa and its resources. This is a classic risk land grab, yeah? It may end up free passage for American ships with the Panama Canal and a new airbase and mining rights in Greenland, says John C. And he's going to cause hell in the Middle East if Israel hostages aren't released. He's on a roll. But I mean, again, till he takes power and actually has to implement these things, you don't know what's going to be real, right? So yeah, that's that one. That is that one. Oh, I need a brew. Oh. Pat Riot. We could later throw American tea into the channel. Have our own Boston Tea Party. Love it. Full of hope. We do not even know the people in power. They are supranational. I didn't know if that was supernatural then or supernational. Right people are those who don't want power. This is the problem, and those who don't want power probably won't get it, right? Because you're not going to run for it in the first place. And if Harris had won the election, would people still be saying this? If Harris had won the election, no, they wouldn't be saying this, because Harris was Labour's best friend. Remember? Sending hundreds of people over to campaign for Harris. So no, this wouldn't have been an issue. Starmer would have been fully in his element. Full of Hope says, decades ago the US government funded Musk for years. He's been groomed for this. There we go. It now sounds like a negotiating strategy. US makes claim for Greenland to compete with China, then offers to back down as long as China removes claim for Taiwan. Good shout, NJ660. Good shout. Yeah, I could see how that would fall together. That is a good shout, definitely. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Definitely. Not even absolute power. Bitter power corrupts. Middle management's the worst. Exactly, that's my point. It would be no different from here. Tuck is in the house. Tuck's in the house. How you doing, Tuck? One of our American friends is here. Shh, stop talking about Trump. Right. We'll get onto a bit more UK news shortly. I apologise. But it's all going on in America at the moment. It's all going on in the States. And we do have American viewers as well. So, back to the newsroom. This is on Sky today. It's not traditional wildfire season, so why have California fires spread so quickly? Intense white winds have turned sparks into infernos, moving alarming speed in California. What are the Santa Ana winds, which is like a dry winds that they get, and it's always in the winter season. So yeah, wanted to show you a few bits on this. Let's see if this works. Hopefully the audio is going to work. A lot of them were brick and steel. So it's nothing to do with timber framed. I don't think there's anything wrong with timber framed houses. If it's done correctly, it's a lot smarter. It's a lot cheaper. We should be doing it in this country. We don't even have the extremes of weather not to do it. That was Elon Musk who shared that one. This one here, we don't need the audio on for this one. If you can just see, oh, well, it's going to give me the audio anyway. There we go. Look at that. Now, we're not 100% sure why these fires have started yet. A lot of the time it's man-made, unfortunately, like 70% of the time. Or downed power cables can also be the cause half the time. And I am going to show you this one. This video's by the Weather Channel. So full credit to them for this one. So I'll let this one play through as well.
We heard a voice yelling out here, fire, fire! And so we just jumped up. We weren't even asked to evacuate.
Something's gonna blow.
This whole mountainside was blazing, and we said, we got to get out of here.
All of PCH is on fire right now. There is fierce wind, down power lines, power poles toppled over. Things are exploding.
The wind is howling at 38, 40 miles an hour.
It is like driving through hell itself down here.
There's just not enough personnel to be able to mount that type of firefight. So it's a defensive fight. We're taking a bump and run, and we're trying to skip and find locations where we can safely engage the fire. We have adequate water supply.
Property damage is property damage. Losing lives, dogs, animals, horses, a lot of horses in the neighborhood. So, yes, so that's what matters.
There's a lot of fire right there. That's why the people coming.
It's tough. You gotta lift them up, put them in the vans, and then take the wheelchairs at the same time. So, you gotta get everybody out of here.
My heart just breaks for all my neighbors who have lost their homes.
It was just one of those where I'm telling my wife as we're driving out of here, is this us? Is this happening to us? Because we were watching it on the news ourselves and saying, wow, what a tragedy. Well, look what's going on. And boom, here we were.
Insane. I mean, if there's ever reasons to prep, stuff like that has got to wake you up to it, right? That's absolutely nuts. And it's January. Don't expect stuff like this in January. I mean, so it's just scary. It really is. Let's have a look at your comments on that. Geez, says Polonium. John C. asked about the timber houses. Democrat policies not managing brush or water supplies, draining reservoirs for salmon, etc. California fires are magnified by Democrat Newsroom policies. There you go. Mr. T in the house with that. He doesn't pity the fools. Those fires are orchestrated so climate change pushers can push their dark agendas through faster, says Yorkshire Pud. Oh, look at that. In the corner there. Full of Hope has gifted 5 memberships. So whoever gets them, welcome to the UK Urban Prepper family. Thank you, Full of Hope. It's really appreciated. Every little donation helps. Tuck says, the weather's here's been beautiful lately, sunny, dry, cool right now around Fort Lauderdale. So as long as you're safe, a different place. Preston's got one of those memberships. It's just become a member. They'll pop up on the screen there in that bottom corner. Oh, Bitcoin, Ethereum, LTC, crypto, and silver became a member. That just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? I read that structurally roundhouses are more resilient to hurricanes. Makes sense. Look online. There's footage of a missile-esque drone coming in and leaving a smoke trail, says Dudley Edge. Very interesting. How devastating for the family and their pets, says Zebra Prep. Yes, I know. It's absolutely shocking. Why only brick chimneys left standing, though? The chimney's a solid structure, right? You don't put furniture and wallpaper inside it and stuff like that, and it's designed for fire, right? Come on, come on. You know the score. This will spread. I wonder if there's rare earth minerals under that land, says Mr. T. All the conspiracies are coming out at the moment. Thank you again, Full of Hope, for all their memberships. That's really, really appreciated. Cali climate has always been warmer. Each location has its issues. Says now is the time. Preston got the membership. Bitcoin. Michelle Law got the membership. And Pro Plus Kid, oh dear, got the membership. My area has fire season. Has for a million years. Few people are aware of it. Partly due to terrain, partly due to decent wildfire management. There you go. Prepping, in other words. Took prepping on a state scale. Bride's in the house from a frozen camper van somewhere in Scotland. Hope you're enjoying your trip, Brian. Loving all your footage at the moment. I've just told people to go over and look at your video about that latest news on the power. Should make buildings out of the same material of the passports, says Pat Riot. J Law says, full of hope, you rock. And everyone's saying hi, Brian, and cheers, Brian. So yeah, them wildfires, insane. Right. We're coming up to the final hurdle and the controversial bits. We like to do them towards the end. Yeah, Brian, did you see that they did another warning at 4:30? So not just the one that you did the quick video on. There's been another one. Was it 4:30? I think it was 4:30. I think I've closed the page now. I have closed the page now. But yeah. It was around 4:30. There was another one of the warnings from for the power. Again, lasted half an hour before they rescinded it. So that's 2 in a day. Yeah, go and check it out. If you go onto the site, the NASA one, you'll see the latest one at the top of the notifications is for the 4:30 one. So it's happening. It's happening. Right. So, last bit of news. This is the political bit. So, run, duck and cover. Zoom. Ba-dum. Starmer accused of cowardice as Labour votes to block national grooming inquiry. Seems insane, right? Why would you want to block an inquiry like that? But he was out. Chief Whip, Labour Party, forced everyone who's even got a shout of being there. Starmer was going around himself telling them what to vote on this. And it was voted down 364 to 111. The move was branded as an act of cowardice by Conservatives following the vote. Shadow Home Secretary said it's disgusting that Keir Starmer has used his supermajority in Parliament to block a national inquiry into the R gangs scandal. I'm saying R because of YouTube. You know the word. Labour MPs have put their party ahead of getting the truth and turned a blind eye to justice for the victims. We won't let them forget this act of cowardice. Blah, blah, blah. Right. Why is the question we have to ask at this stage, right? Why? Could it be what happened, what inquiries were, and Starmer, Sir Keir was the head of the Crown Prosecution Service for 5 years when the gangs were being investigated. There he is. Looking like Rick Mail in The Young Ones. So, something's there that he doesn't want dredging up because he's to blame. My opinion. Why else would you stop something like this? Why would you want to stop? The victims are asking for this to happen. The victims are asking for this to happen. And Labour's just gone, no. Why? Are we protecting the gangs? Thoughts? I want your thoughts on this one. This is a really weird one. And I know there's going to be different theories and different schools of thought. And even if your thoughts are pro-Labour and post-armour, and you can tell us why this is justified, please comment it. Please put it in the chat now. Zoom. Let's go back to Big Me. Big Me. Oh, chat's skipping around. I don't like this. Right, here we go. Shocking, says Brown Coat Prepper. Disgrace, says Brian. Cowardice is putting it lightly, says Sandy. All theatre, says M-Ann. Now is the time. They were all in on it. The R's, the police, the councillors, the government. This goes right to the top. And that's why they want to stop it. That's why they don't want it investigated. So, I tell you what, Farage should put his money in and get it privately investigated. Get a private investigation done into it. That's what I would do. Have to block it. Can you imagine the downfall Labour would dissolve? Exactly. There we go. Self-preservation. Now is the time, says Cowardice. Lady J. Giselle Pellicott is a heroine in France. Why are these young women getting justice? There you go. Why aren't these young women getting justice? Lots of names being bandied around. I don't know these names. Kia was the legal representation for migrants for the last 20 years, says Full of Hope. Multiculturalism doesn't work. People are tribal, says Now is the time. It's very true. People are tribal. We will know this in full force if we have a Teotihuacan or an SHTF situation. You will see quickly how tribal people become. That's why we need to be the strongest tribe now in peace times to be ready for that. There is no says there's no other reason than protecting the gangs, and as a result, those who control the gangs. There you go. Trying to prevent the reign of inevitable civil unrest, keeping order takes precedent over hundreds of girls. Hard. It's it's shocking. It's disgusting. J Law says. Let's hope the next government investigates this blocked issue. Well, took Musk to highlight what Tommy has been doing for 10 years. The entire establishment failed those girls from the top to the bottom. It's rotten, says Reese Omega. Christ. Yeah. Alright. I mean, I can't read out all your comments for obvious reasons, but yeah. Do you know what's worse? It's it's all the people that voted that have MPs in any political party should vote with their head and their heart on issues, not what boss man says we all got to say yes. Boss man says we've all got to say no. That's who's representing your constituency. Check your local MP. If he's one of those that voted for that, send him a letter and ask him for his reasons behind it. Ask him for his reasoning behind it. Won't get an answer. Or you'll get a default copy-paste, send this to anyone that challenges your answer. Or you'll just get locked up, you know. We'll take out a violent criminal and let him go free, and we'll lock you up for challenging our authority. Now is the time. Reform, better perform, or they'll be out too. First priority, inquiry into this fiasco. I don't think now is the time. I don't think reform will get in the next election, even. I would like them to, but I don't think they will. They might become the opposition in the next election. And then they can look for it. Oh, FP's barrister is in the house. Exactly, full of hope. Exactly. They were voting against the Tories, not because they wanted Labour. I'm too busy for new clients. Please be careful, says Funky's barrister. Farage is Bucky's favourite to be Prime Minister next. Yes, but the Buckies are a load of shit. Honestly, I do think he'll get, if it was popular vote, if it was the majority of individual votes, yes, definitely. But the way our voting system works, I just don't think he will. Too many people still see reform as far right. Even though he's tried to separate himself from that a bit, they still see it as that. And they'll rather vote for Kimmy and the Conservative Party. So they'll get a good chunk of the people that don't want Labour but don't want to go right. It's breaking stereotypes that is the biggest challenge before that. Outlawed UK, 2 tiers will be the 22B black hole, you know. 2 tiers excuse will be the... Oh, yep, sorry, I had to read that. Exactly. 2 tiers excuse will be the £22 billion black hole. Exactly. That's the we can't do the inquest because the £22 billion black hole. There we go. Feel for them. Bushfires are horrendous. Oh, old bloke must be watching on replay and seeing the fires that we just put up there. It's horrendous. It was. Even the wind is far right these days, says Whiskey Jack J. Politics is bollocks anyway. This is it. We need this reset. We need... I don't wish anything. I want peace times. I want prosperous times. I want everyone to be happy, healthy, and enjoy themselves. But there's a small part of me. Now, a small part, this is the little devil bit on the shoulder that I shouldn't listen to, that thinks... Shit, wouldn't a reset be really good? Small part. Reese Omega, MPs should represent their constituents and be the voice in Parliament. Exactly what they are supposed to be, Reese, yes, but they aren't. They are for themselves, line their pockets, keep themselves in power as long as they can. Exactly. This is why they don't come to the door campaigning after if they've been in one for one term at least. They don't come knocking on your door anymore. They have the underlings doing it, but they don't come out because they know you'll just like collar them up. Banned again. Honestly, I don't think we have 5 years left to save the country. Sadly, I've got a feeling you're right. Banned again. Polonium says my wind is definitely pretty extreme. You're getting tired, Mike. All right, okay. That's Brown Coat Prepper has called it and said I need to go off. There we go. Cheers. Does anyone really think that we have 5 years left? And that's 2 people now that said about 5 years. What do we think is going to happen in 5 years, guys? What do we think? Council elections will favour reform over the Westminster elections, though. Methinks the establishment will be surprised how well reform will do. But it, again, doesn't give them any clout, really, does it? Not a great reset ever, says Band again. We are resetting right now. Everything is fluid. There you go. Reset on our terms without the elite, J-Law. That's a good shout, J-Law, definitely. 2030. Oh, J-Law just got a membership. Thank you very much, J-Law. It's really appreciated. It helps me keep going. Will there be 5 years? Unfortunately, 2030. They have told us that's their deadline. You'll own nothing. Blah blah. Watch me. All the more reason to get onto our Discord. If you are a member of the channel, join the Discord. Great people on there. I've already started making like in-person meetups with the people on there, sorting things out. Come along to the Scottish Prepper Meet. All the details for that I'll post in the community page. The more we can network now, the more we can build these communities, build our nationwide mag now, the stronger we're going to be by 2030. Brown Coat Prepper UK, join us, one of us. one of you. UK Urban Prepper is worth it. Thank you, JLo. I really do appreciate it. We definitely need to stick together as a community. This is it. And this is what prepping's been missing for so long. I know we're going off the news now. Literally, I'm going to wrap it up in 2 minutes because you can all go over and watch Sigma as well. Then everyone's happy. But the problem with this community for a long time is it's been diehard, Rambo, standalones, OPSEC, don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And the fearmongers, obviously, and even the big channel fearmongers have got really good videos and they've got good preps and stuff like that. And I do think they're very well prepared because they've got the money behind them as well. But I think recently, in the last 6 months, we've broken barriers. The Midlands Survival Group started their own prepper meet. It was a small one. I went down to it, and it's just breaking down all them stigmas. We're losing that reputation slowly of that tinfoil hat nutcase because everybody else is starting to wake up and realise, yeah, maybe I need to do something about this. So, the more we build this community, the better. Old Bloke says, concentrate on what you can control and how you can improve your own situation, in my opinion. Pontificating and projecting about the macro issues achieves absolutely nothing. Very true. Control the circle. Control everything that's in your sphere of influence. But knowing what's outside of that sphere is always good. Yeah? Intel is everything. I don't want to sit in my bubble in the dark. Avoid news now. Nice one. Tuck. What did Tuck say? Hoping for Teostohaki, the end of this bullshit as we know it. Are you talking about the show? Alright, okay. Fine, Tuck. I'll end it. I get the hint. It's alright. Coming together as normal, everyday people now. Preppers haven't got the nutcase vibe about it anymore. Exactly. Sigma started at 10:15. Oh, he's give us some grace period. Thank you very much. Communicating with each other without the internet is something we need to address. We're really going to support each other. Ham Radio Network. Polonium, yes, definitely. Polonium, let's get talking on the Discord about that. I do think after speaking with somebody, one of our members, I went to his house and sat and chat with him and talked to him about it. Although ham radio's good, this mesh system done right, and we have enough people willing to put the work in, not a massive expense, it's just we need somebody willing to put a node up in a certain place or put it up high if they live somewhere, sort of thing, and build out that network. That is your ultimate off-grid communications. It takes next to no power. We'll talk about it. But I do think that would probably be the way forward for the UK Prepper Network in the event of complete grid down. Till then, just keep coming back to YouTube. Everyone's a winner. Who takes the reins after SHTF does occur? New boss, same as the old boss. This is the problem. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Now is the time, said that. And yeah, it is a tale as old as time. It's like the Romans, Normans, Saxons. It doesn't matter, does it, right? Absolute power corrupts absolutely, somebody put in the chat before. So even if we think the best people in the world are took over, it's going to get worse each time, right? I liked Dan from startprepping.co.uk's theory where it would be local micro governments, yeah? Literally, like, so this is our town, we control everything, we do the laws of this town, that's it. Our circle. Anyway. Full of Hope says, global fiat currencies are dying. This is why everything is about. They are carving up control and resources. People are irrelevant. People are the problem. It's fine, Mike. You could say my name. Hawkins, I was talking to. There you go. So, whatever we do, I'm happy to be a link down south. There you go. Polonium's in on that. I don't think we'd have a shortage of volunteers. I don't think we'd have a shortage of people chipping in for paying for nodes in certain places. We have the resident expert on this, which is Hawkins, so I'm going to have a few more chats with him and see how we can get something up and in place, because I do think it's really important that we establish everything for our network now, and hopefully never need it, don't get me wrong. Hopefully never need any of it. You know, we never need to call upon each other in that situation. But if it does happen, after the event, or after the crumbles, or after it starts to happen, or, you know, if that's too late to then plan. We need to plan now. So, poor people are the problem, says Kaza. Oh, well, I'm in that bracket now. S2 Underground has some uploads about Meshtastic. If UK Urban Prepper doesn't. Yes, Tuck, that is one that Hawkins put me onto. Everyone go and check out S2 Underground for that. I won't put a video up on Meshtastic at this stage because I'm nowhere near educated enough. However, if you all ask nicely, if you all say please in the chat now, Hawkins will come onto a Prepper podcast episode and we'll talk all about what we can do with the Meshtastic system. So, ask him now. Ask him. Put the pressure on. Peer pressure. It works. In between, Mr. In Between channel. Hello all, great channel. Which channels are you in between? Oh, look at this, Hawkins. Here comes the pressure. There we go. Look at that. You guys are great. I feel like a conductor. I'm sure he'll do that. It might be audio only, whatever he wants to do. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, we'll definitely get that talking and get on there. All members, all you new members, the link for the Discord is in the community page for members only. It's the members' choice that stays members only, not mine. Sorry, it's not some sort of money grab. I asked them if we should make it public. That was the decision. So, the link's in there. If it doesn't work, send me a message. I'll send you a link directly to join. Other than that, everyone's still saying please. There you go. We will sort something, Mike, says Hawkins. Hawkins agreed. You all did it. Well done, guys. Tell him I'm on a diet reading Tankfastics. I'm going to Google that Meshtastic. Yeah, there's honestly, there's loads to look at on that, and I think that's the way forward, definitely. Right, I'm going to call it before it gets too late, and I carry on waffling because we've gone completely off the news. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Full of Hope. She's still our super chat queen anyway. She's still got the highest running total, but she gifted them memberships today as well, which has made a massive difference. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you all in another one. And hopefully I'll click the right button now because this is all different software. Good night.